Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here, and today, guys, I'm here with another Total War Warhammer live BattleCast. In this game, we're going to play the Warriors of Chaos against the Empire. So, as far as this particular build goes, and let's actually make sure that I do indeed have the Auric armor, because if you actually forget that, it becomes exponentially weaker. So, Prince Igvald with the Auric armor is very, very good against the Empire, simply because very durable, good defensive stats, 100 armor, pretty high leadership, very good melee defense at 55, and on top of that, he does have charge defense against all. So he has some pretty good attributes against flying goon squads, or Boris Todbringer, or General of the Empire. Anyone that kind of wants to try and hero snipe you. His regeneration makes him very, very resilient. Now, on top of that, one of the most annoying things, playing Chaos in general, is you don't really have a lot of tools at dealing with flying harass or cav coming in your flanks. I mean, granted, you can't intercept them with your cav, but they can come in and decide to disengage and not take any punishment for it. So, kind of the next idea in that regard is to use the Death Sorcerer. So I bring two of them. One of them, I think one or two of them have Fate Abuna. I guess they both do because their cost is equivocal. So the reason I bring Fate Abuna and Spirit Leech on both of them is because more often than not, these guys can get sniped out pretty easily. And if you're in a really late game situation, it's pretty important to have some, diversity. No, not diversity, but you want to have both of those spells. So I have those. On top of that, some Forsaken mixed in with some Marauders, which actually are not bad in the Empire matchup. Marauders, pretty quick. Their combat stats aren't bad. I believe they have 34 melee attack, so they can trade well with spears and halberds and all those type of units. And for their cost, they're pretty decent after that most recent buff they got, which was, I think it was 2 months ago or something like that. So not a bad choice at all, guys. Not a bad choice. So really excited to see what the new race they'll be adding before Total War Warhammer 2 is. I really hope it's like Norska or something. Now, I wonder how they would implement that. If Norska would be Chaos with additional units, be one of the sub-faction type things, or if it'll be a standalone. I don't know if they mentioned that, but if any of you guys happen to know or saw that Creative Assembly did mention that somewhere, definitely let me know. But yeah, guys, we're going to try and overwhelm the flanks with some Forsaken, Chaos Marauders. We also do have Chaos Knights, which I usually put a Death Sorcerer with the Knights and then the Hounds, so then he can use Fate Abuna when I intercept the Demogryph Knights or Reichsguard or whatever else they decide to bring. So we'll see how this funny business goes. We will definitely see, but I've been having a lot of fun with Floor of Metal also. The, what's it called? I'm forgetting the ability, but Plague of Rust is really cool for nuking. I've been liking it against the Dwarves to use, so you use the upgraded Plague of Rust on a group of Miners or Dwarf Warriors, bringing them down to 20 armor, and then you slam a bunch of Forsaken into them, and it's just such good value. So I'm pretty happy to find a bit of a niche for Lore of Metal, but in the Empire matchup, it's not that great because a lot of their things are lightly armored anyway, so you're not really going to need that. So cool. So let's go ahead and set up our main battle line here. We're going to mix in the Chaos Marauders with the great weapons here, simply to deal with great swords or help out in that respect. So okay, so we're going to set up our line like so, and we want to go a little bit wider. Yeah, well, they probably don't have too much artillery, so we don't need to spaghetti too much. On top of that, we'll put the Aspiring Champions kind of just right behind this front line, and we'll decide where we want to send them. So one group of Forsaken out on the wings over here, and let's get another one out over there. All right, cool. Feeling pretty good about that. Let's get the mighty Prince Igvald right here, and then the Death Sorcerer. And let's actually, I think they both have Fate Abuna. Okay, good, so they do. So great. So this is going to be kind of our Cav Goon Squad. We're just going to kind of see where my opponent wants to go with his goodies, and then we'll go ahead and chase him down. This Death Sorcerer can sit with the main army here, and great. So we do have some extra Marauders as well as an extra group of Forsaken. So we're going to keep one Forsaken right here. We might just slam him right up the center and see if we can, do some aggression there. Put these guys out on the wing here. And do these guys have Vanguard? I don't think they do. I think that's only with Beastmen, and I know the Direwolves with the Vampire counts do. So great. So one of the best things about Empire is or dealing with Empire is you want to have a ton of overwhelming forces that can pressure their flanks. So it becomes so hard to deal with all kinds of units, especially from Chaos that has really fast infantry. Forsaken, 48 move speed, and then you have the Chaos Marauders, which actually have 35. Aside from traditional Chaos Warriors who are around 28, I think Chosen and Chaos Warriors both have 28. So, all right. So of course we got a flying goon squad over there, looking nice and lovely. We do have the mighty Karl Franz backed up by an Amber Wizard. So if he doesn't have the, oh, he actually has the Sunmaker. That's pretty funny. So if that Sunmaker is not defended, we're just gonna go take his goodies for sure. But we're gonna take some very thematic, splashing, very scenic. But it's really not going to be that devastating, I guess, against us, I don't think. So let's get these Hounds. Yeah, sometimes when you lose sight, the pathing just stops. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. He has a Goon Squad here, right? So if I didn't have Spirit Leech and these different mechanics like that, he could just fly over and do as he pleases. But in this situation, so let's go ahead and get these guys going here. And thankfully, Forsaken are extremely fast. So these guys we'll just put in group 4 to micro them separately. And we'll use the Hounds to kind of jump on those guys. So great. So he's actually over here. So let's go ahead and readjust our engagement a little bit. Just do a bit of a crossover. And it looks like he is landing right here. So we can try and surround this Amber Wizard. That's going to be really nice. And we'll bring our Goon Squad. And if we can get the Poison Hounds on that guy, he's just going to die. So we're going to Spirit Leech him right now and just really try and kill his caster. And we do get a good engagement there. Like, that's not bad at all. We did capture his Hound. So great. So aside from that, let's go ahead and just kind of start running everybody in. We can just do a little bit of a mosh pit style build. These guys can go up and around. And good. So I think we're going to get his caster right here. And yeah, so the Amber Wizard's going down, which is a great pick. And we do also have another Spirit Leech. So I think we could drop that on the Amber Wizard just to ensure he dies. And boom, he's going to die for sure. So we're going to charge in here. Let's go ahead and get these guys going like so. And I think our other Hounds did kind of get caught up there a little bit. So my one critique of this fight is we're a little bit clustered here in the main line, but I think we should be okay. Prince Sigvald's very good in these situations. So good. Let's push in there, make sure everything's going well and good. So we did kill the Amber Wizard and we're able to kind of like trap down Karl Franz and all these other guys. And yeah, our hounds did get routed, but we can honestly just ignore the Sunmaker, I think. I don't think it really matters. So we got around to those guns. We do have an Arcane Conduit, so let's pop it here. And the poison is incredibly good. Like, my opponent is not able to get away right now, which is really solid. And he does have, what are these? The Empire Knights over here. Yeah, they're not really going to be able to do much. And the Chaos Knights, let's actually detach them. We're going to pull the Chaos Knights to come after these guys. We'll put them in group 5, and that should be fine. So the front line is definitely going to falter. I mean, especially without the leadership or the Amber Wizard that we were able to catch, it's going to be tough. So right when he comes in with that rear charge, we're going to pop Sigvald's buff, and we want to save up for a Fate of Buna. So we're going to pop another one. Now we're 1 per 2, so we're going to have enough for a Fate of Buna very quickly here. So great. So these forces, we can go ahead and pull around the back here, just continue to kind of lay the beat down on our opponent's stuff. And Fate of Buna costs 16, that's right. I think it used to actually be cheaper if I'm not mistaken. So these Knights are coming in. They're going to go after his guys over here. So let's actually just kind of slam into these and just kind of push our way through the back here. And where did his Knights go? Did they just got killed so incredibly quickly? And he does have some Empire Knights in here, so we can go ahead and drop the Fate of Buna in there, although that's my one. Let's actually just start Spirit Leeching Karl Franz. That'll probably be a little bit more of a sound decision. So we get a nice little charge into these guys right here, which is going to be pretty devastating. So let's just kind of keep making our rounds here and doing our thing. Prince Sigvald, obviously my opponent is not going to be able to snipe him. Sigvald is incredibly tough to kill. So we do get these Hounds back from route, so let's go ahead and send them after the Sunmaker just in case this battle goes a little bit longer than I expected. These Forsaken can go ahead and intercept here, and these Chaos Knights, woo, you guys do not want to go into Halberds. You do not want any of that Halberd business. Let's pull these other guys and have them go right there. So we do have our other Death Sorcerer, so we can go ahead and pop another Spirit Leech on Karl, which should do the trick. Forsaken, let's just pull him around the back and see if we can do a little bit of funny business. We'll route these guys here, pull these guys, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. I think my opponent's forces are pretty tattered here. So Karl Franz is trying to put up a fight, but, you know, for the most part, it was a bit of a interesting build. And my opponent, like, that initial engagement on the hill with the handgunners, he really got, like, jammed, you know, like, his forces came in and my troops were right in his face. If I were him, I probably would have, like, wanted to wait down in the valley and force me to come over there. And also the dive with the Amber Wizard was pretty greedy, I would say. Like, coming in there, especially when Hounds were so close by, in the way that the Lord actually dove in, he like flew in and got like immediately surrounded himself, which was tough. And we also had like a Death Sorcerer nearby and all this stuff that's pretty good against that stuff. All right, guys, so we're going to make this a double cast. We're going to be fighting against the Mighty Star Lord. So let's go ahead and play Bretonnia. I haven't played them in quite some time. So let's see what my opponent wants to play. Or Wood Elves, Bretonnia. Wood Elves, Bretonnia. What do we want to play, guys? Kind of on the fence. I don't know. Let's see what my opponent picks, and we'll go from there. So we'll play Bretonnia versus Wood Elves. Always a pretty fun matchup. So the Fey Enchantress is good. Obviously, I think she's the best pick in general, but she also has missile resist and magic resist. And I think if you put her on the Unicorn, she gets up to like, yeah, 60%. And there's a ton of, you know, magic damage coming from the Wood Elf. So we're going to use her. Man, I really wanted to use the Green Knight. I was hoping you would pick Greenskins. But let's go ahead and get some Battle Pilgrims right here. Let's get some Men-at-Arms with Polearms to help with Treekin, just in case. A Grail Reliquae, I'm a huge fan. We're going... Grail Knights are okay, but honestly, I think Knights of the Realm, like, I think they can beat Wild Riders pretty soundly. Again, I haven't done, like, substantial testing, but it seems to be pretty strong. We're going to get some Royal Pegasus Knights here, and let's see, what else do I want to get? I probably want to get, like... I don't know if I need Foot Squires. And we have our healing. I don't know if I want to get a Paladin or anything. We could get another Knights of the Realm. That's like so much to manage though, because I already have 2 of them and a Pegasus Knight, so I think I just kind of like buff up my infantry corps a little bit. So let's just get some Men-at-Arms with shields, try and overwhelm my opponent with kind of like sheer numbers here. Do I want to get another Grail Reliquae? I don't think so. I think this will do the trick. So we'll just throw chevrons in those guys. Let's just be lazy. Although, man, for the sake of entertainment, for the sake of the boys, maybe we get some peasant mobs. I don't know if that's necessary. Maybe we get some spearmen here and then we can just throw in 2 peasant mobs. So we're going real fat this game on the army. We're going real fat. It's going to be fun though. I'm excited. We got some peasants. We got some Men-at-Arms here. And Wood Elf infantry aren't like, I mean, they do have good melee defense, but they're not going to trade efficiently, even with like these 350 resource Men-at-Arms here. So for the best, Pegasus Knights should be able to, you know, secure the air by themselves. I suppose that's one of the liabilities, is that I only have 1 Pegasus Knight, and he could potentially have, like, you know, a bunch of Hawk Riders. Well, even still, Hawk Riders get skewered But what I need to be careful of with the Pegasus Knights is I need to bait the Prey of Anothrama with like something cheaper, like so my Knights of the Realm, and then come in and do my business with the Pegasus Knights. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Should be fun fighting the mighty Star-Lord. Saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was pretty fun. I definitely am more of a fan of like grimdark stuff. So I mean the whole cheery kind of mood of things, and you know how everything's always going to work out in those movies. That's kind of the one thing that I don't always like. One of my favorite actually superheroes in general, or superhero kind of intellectual properties, is the Punisher. He's always probably been probably one of my top 2. I also like Judge Dredd a lot. Judge Dredd is so freaking cool. All right, so we're on the Broken Leg Gully. Oh, this is like one of the worst maps. Like it's just so terrible. Like it's just, I feel like it's super imbalanced as it pertains to factions. Like I think we'll be fine, but the Wood Elf player can have a good situation here, because what I should have looked at the map before I picked my army, but what he can do is he can just make this into the Hawk Gates and have his missiles up on the high ground, just shooting me in the valley. Then I have to run all the way around. He can easily set up a spear wall here, so definitely not happy about this map. We'll try. So maybe I deploy out here on the far side, and then I just like go up and around here, and like, yeah, I think that's the way we do it. We deploy out here. We see if he'll meet us down here. If he won't, we just march. We go out here, and then we go up and around on this hill. So I think that should work out just fine. And we do have mobility, so could be much worse, guys. Could be much worse. Oh man, but yeah, we have to actually march out there and stuff. Oh, this is gonna be so ugly. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our army there. It's just so fat. And do we want to mix in the halberds in the front line? I don't think so. I think we put the battle pilgrims in the front line like so. And where do we want to deploy? Yeah, we can actually just like set up our formation here and then prepare to march elsewhere. So great. So battle pilgrims like that. Let's get our halberds. The halberds can kind of like lurk in here, and we don't have any missiles we have to protect, because honestly I don't really like bringing Bretonnian missiles against these guys. I feel like it's a little bit inefficient and good. So then Knights of the Realm, yeah, where do we want to put them? And we could just have like a goon squad over here, like have like a little let's try a little dual pronged action, shall we? I think that could be fun. We'll get the Grail Reliquae in the center here, so that's going to kind of be our main army. This will be like our secondary army over on the far side, so we'll get some spears and see if we can pressure the flank in different ways. And peasant mobs, yeah, let's just throw the peasant mobs over here. Why not? And we'll see where my opponent is when everything gets rolling. Fey Enchantress, need to make sure to put her in group 1, and the swordsman will go ahead and kind of mix in with the army here. And maybe do we want to go wider? I don't think we have enough room to go wide with our formation, because like the entrances to the different battle zones are just super narrow. 3, 4, and this group can be right here. 4 can be over here, and 5 can be the Pegasus Knights. Great. All right, let's see what my opponent decides to do. Hopefully he'll meet us in the valley. And oh yeah, we got to make sure to toggle lock our army a little bit. And do we want to scoot over just like that? Yes, that's correct. So then we can go down and around here. Group 3 and Group 4 can be over here. So Group 3, actually, maybe we want to like leave close here in case my opponent decides to like zerg this army. It's a little bit risky, but if he's like entrenched up in here, and then I pressure from this side and have this army coming from there on the back, it'll be something he'll have to deal with for sure. And worst case, if this army gets wiped, I think the combined resources are like 800 for that whole troop right there. So hopefully the peasants do us proud for the lady and all that kind of good stuff. So my army is pretty big. 1,500 resources is quite fat. The Grail Reliquae in here, keep these guys fighting. You can't see the buffs before the battle, unfortunately, so you gotta wait for that, guys. And yeah, we'll be doing some good stuff, just kind of waiting and hoping for Norska. Man, that's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, like I was saying before, the Punisher is probably one of my favorites, and I really like the. I actually don't like Daredevil. The show's good, but like I don't like Daredevil as a character that much, simply because like, man, yeah, I don't know. He always like lets the villains live, right? Like he'll show them mercy, and then they come back and kill one of his friends, and I'm just like, dude, like. You screwed that one up, man. So we're gonna run out here, and these guys. Let's actually have our little Mission Impossible goon squad come over here, and it looks like he's actually gonna come down and meet us in the valley. Oh, great, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So maybe he wants like easy missile, an easy firing line for his missiles. Who knows? So what does he have? So he's got Glade Guards, he's got Wild Riders, which we shouldn't have any problems. He does have a mighty Glade Lord over there in the distance. He actually has Shadows with Pit of Shades, so Pit of Shades is not gonna be that great here, simply because I just have so much stuff. And it's better against like foot squires and that type of stuff. Although, I guess it'll do good against battle pilgrims. So if I do like kind of a tar pit like a little too much, it's gonna be pretty good for my opponent. So great. So let's get these Knights of the Realm over here. We'll get these ones kind of lurking up, and let's have them go around the back. And these guys can kind of park right here. And yeah, he's trying to force the engagement a little bit. Although yeah, I'm surprised. I guess he didn't want to leave his missiles up on the high ground just in case. But War Dancers, yeah, War Dancers will trade pretty well with the Battle Pilgrims, because I think they actually do have natural physical resist of 20%. So, but still, they're very squishy. 15 armor versus 30 on the Battle Pilgrims. Melee defense of 36 versus 28 on Battle Pilgrims. But they are much more expensive. So great. All right, so let's just posture up like this. We'll get these guys kind of coming up and around like so. And let's just run him up there. And hopefully that'll like stress my opponent out. And is he really wanting to take this fight? Pretty sure I can win that if he does. So just wasting ammo on these men-at-arms, totally fine with that. My secondary army is finally coming down the hill. We should be able to get a relatively square engagement on him. And I'm tempted to like, I think going up and around might take a little bit too long for my liking, but you know, it is what it is. We've already committed to it. So let's go ahead and send these guys over here, the Pegasus Knights. Let's pull them over and have them help out. And we do have like a regrowth or something we can use. So let's go ahead and, do we want to jump? He's pulling some spears, so very, very well played doing that. He does actually use Prey of Anathrama on me right there. So it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. So he's going to go in there. We're going to go ahead and bring the Fey Enchantress here and pop, well, we don't want to pop a regrowth quite yet, but we're going to get these Royal Pegasus Knights, have them intercept those guys. And in the front line, let's go ahead and just kind of get everybody kind of rolling dirty. So we're just going to push up like so. And these guys are going to be out of their net soon, dude. That's risky business. So the Fey Enchantress, okay, we actually do get a little bit of a counter charge here. We're going to pop that heal ability, and then we do have the Royal Pegasus Knights coming in reserve. So these guys are going to just get cracked. Like, they're just going to get punished. We're also going to pull some Battle Pilgrims, put them in group 6, so they don't like march with our main army, and good. So these Knights of the Realm over here, oh, we almost got caught with those. We almost got caught. So we're going to run these guys around here. We'll get these guys engaged in the front. We'll get the halberds running, and let's just get these guys engaged in the front line as well. So we need to make sure to get the Fey Mortis Engine up there fighting in the front line, and we were able to crush his cav pretty effectively. So these Battle Pilgrims, we just want to pull them in here, and then we're going to get the rest of the troops here and just keep running these guys over into the forest, which is fine. So he's chasing with his Lord, which is, you know, a great situation, I would say. Great, so the Fey Mortis Engine is in here. She is somewhat susceptible to physical damage, so we need to make sure she doesn't get like caught up, and we do have our Goon Squad kind of coming around the back as well. So let's just keep kiting. You know, we're in no rush here, so we're going to intercept these guys, and then we're going to pull a charge on them and get these Royal Pegasus Knights kind of running up and over here. Come on, oh, we're like right at the edge of the map. I keep trying to like path it, and it's just not having it. So these halberds are going up and around the flank. These guys, we can go up and around here as well, and let's get these guys pushing. So great. So everything's going pretty well. These guys are taking a lot of damage here. We do have our Knights of the Realm, so let's push them back here, pull these guys, and now that the Battle Pilgrims have caught him, I think I'm feeling pretty confident about that. Let's go see if we can get his Lord here. Great, so the Fey Mortis Engine, we're going to go ahead and pop a heal in the front line, because this is a pretty atrocious point in the battle. We have been able to get into the back line a little bit, so we're getting some good pressure back there. These guys are taking more damage than I would like. So let's see if we can kind of, you know, go sandwich his Lord a little bit. And we do have a lot of troops coming down the mountain, guys. So we're going to literally just run those guys in and hopefully be able to do, you know, do our thing. So let's go ahead and pop this ability right here. He does get a good pit of shades over there. He kind of hits it. I guess it was okay. Hit a few troops. It wasn't like terribly devastating. Use the Prey of Anathrama. Well played. Not much I can do about that, to be honest. It's just, you know, the nature of things. We can go ahead and cast a regrowth. I don't know if that's even worth it, but there still are 13 models. So, and we do have our peasant hordes coming from the distance over the hill, just straight up Lord of the Rings status. Let's get a charge in here. Battle Pilgrim still fighting pretty well on the far side. Let's get this Grail Reliquary kind of pushing over here. And the peasant hordes are coming down from the hill. Finally, the grand tactic has been sprung. We're also going to go, let's go in Lance Formation just for scenic sake. And these guys over here, unfortunately, did get caught up on some spears, but we get a great charge right into those Wood Elf missiles, which is awesome. So let's pull back with these, keep the Fey Enchantress doing her thing. We got to make sure she doesn't get surrounded, though. Let's get you fighting in there as well. So good. His back line's going to be very congested now. We did get in there. The Knights of the Realm are probably going to get trapped. I don't know if I can get them like out. Let's see if I can pull them out through this way. And let's see if just rear charge into these. And the Royal Pegasus Knights are back online, so let's get them up on the high ground and just have them kind of perch. Good, so Battle Pilgrims are still chasing here. Oh, he actually does have his Wild Rider, so a perfect target. So let's go ahead and see if we can kind of lance those guys down real quick, pull our Knights of the Realm over there. We do have an Earthblood, so where do we want to pop that? We could pop it in this big blob back here, because we do have a lot of stuff fighting. And that's pretty much all of his missiles are, you know, shut down right now. So we'll kill his Wild Riders. Let's actually, yeah, he's trying to detach these War Dancers right now, so we're going to kind of use the moves like Jagger, see if we can come in and just finish off these guys. We don't have enough Winds of Magic for anything right now, so let's see if we can park her right here so she'll keep draining. Do we have any troops in reserve? We do. We actually had some guys who routed earlier, so let's go ahead and resend them in. Back line's going well. I mean, it's a wild fight. It's really hard to tell if this is going, but we do have the Mortis Engine. Or I keep calling her that. It's funny. I actually like start to think she is one. But here we get some good pressure, but his guys are holding their own, these Eternal Guards, but this blob back here is quite menacing. So let's see if we can pull up and around. Royal Pegasus Knights were able to just kind of absolutely shatter those guys off the battlefield. So let's see if we can get a little bit of action up and over here in position and start to like charge into some of those missile units. So War Dancers here are finally starting to rout, which is good because that means we're going to be able to push right into these Glade Guards who are still like menacing us a little bit. You can see they're getting some great fire right here. So get in there, Battle Pilgrims. We need your help. And yeah, once this front line crumbles, and it's about to, it's so close. Come on, Fey Enchantress, we need you to finish that. Let's go ahead and pop a heal right here. I think she could use the heal as well. Oh, he still does have some internal guards here, so we're going to need to finish those guys off. So, all right, so in the back, it's still going. So Knights of the Realm, we need to get you guys up and around. And is there anything to charge with these? I think we can just charge in and just, you know, see if we can get onto these missiles right here. Let's see if we can get them going on these, and everyone's pushing in. So balance of power is starting to tip in our favor. I would say it's going well. You can see his caster here is a little bit isolated. His missiles are somewhat vulnerable, but you might as well just charge into these guys and just try and do a little shock damage, because that'll open up the pocket right here. Come on, get in there. Come on. I'm just using the charge formation for fun. It's slowing me down and letting me get caught. All right, get in there. So we get a good little lance right there on some of his missiles, which is fine. And we can just ride through here and then use these other troops to kind of intercept his spears. So let's make sure to push these guys through. Another good net on my dudes. And let's go ahead and pop the, yeah, we'll just use the favor of the Fae back here. My opponent has popped his potions and other goodies in that respect. We do have some troops come back. Always want to be checking for routing units. And great, so we do crack that center formation of his. And now we can just push through. And I think like this is a pretty dense like group of Battle Pilgrims. His Lord is isolated. My Royal Pegasus Knights, we can just come snipe his Spellsinger back here. And the Peasant Horde in the back did a pretty good job of like occupying him. His Lord's been like tied up there for like 10 minutes or something, I feel. So all right, so we're gonna get in there, just get a good little charge on these guys. These guys are fighting. These guys got a rear charge here. Wasn't the best, but I always try and use the lance formation. I know it might not be like good, but I feel like I want to keep trying to make it work and see if I can like get some effectiveness out of it. But I know sometimes it's just more optimal just because, you know, it's not really great losing the speed, but looks like that's all she wrote for my opponent. Everything's shattered for the most part, I think. And yeah, well played. That was fun. We had a little like Mission Impossible from the what's it called? From the Bretonnian peasant mob that was like marching up around the flank. They just got her and like slammed into the back. They were a little late to the party, but once they got there, they did their thing. Good kills on the Battle Pilgrims. I mean, 28, 32 kills on these guys is great. I mean, even 9 kills on a peasant mob is not bad. Knights of the Realm shut down those Wild Riders pretty easy. Pegasus Knights weren't really a necessary... I mean, they didn't really thrive in this matchup, but still, they were flying around. My opponent was focusing a lot of resources on them, so still, I think they did their part. So, well played to my opponent, Star-Lord. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that double cast, and guys, I got some more content coming soon, so stay tuned. Take care, guys.